I didn't say I think it should go somewhere else. I mean, this is just an amazing venue. So I was just asked the question, and I just kind of felt that this venue was probably too small and could be bigger. I mean, if you could increase this like they do like football grounds and put in another 2,000 or 3,000 seats, then you keep it here.
This is the home of snooker for me, and if it moves away, it'll lose a lot of its history attached to it. A lot of the drama comes because of what the Crucible can bring.
If the youngsters coming through wouldn't get a chance to sample this arena, it would be a big miss for them now, because it's the best and most special venue we've got on the tour.
For me, it's just such an unbelievable atmosphere out there. Everything's so tense, everybody's so engrossed in the snooker. I think if you went to a bigger arena, then you'd lose a bit of the atmosphere.
For me, when I play the first semi-final, I think this is okay. The venue is okay because there's only one table in the middle. That's enough for both players. But in this first round, second round, maybe a bit tight for 2 tables.
It is perfect for snooker here, but obviously times change, and I wouldn't be dead against it moving, but also don't particularly want it to move either. I think they definitely need some kind of competition, and massive competition needs to be played here, but I can kind of understand where he's coming from. I think the World Championship is a massive event, and I think more people maybe should be able to come and watch.
Well, China is good.
World Snooker is on record as saying so long as Sheffield City Council and the BBC continue to support the event here, it will stay in Sheffield. Is that still the case?
Well, it's certainly our view, and wherever that support is here, take a look at Sheffield and how the city's developing around the snooker. We can look outside this venue here, huge steel balls made from Sheffield steel promoting the city. You know, snooker is synonymous in this city, and you know, for us, the history, the heritage, that means something to the sport. I don't think either myself or Barry have any view to move it, and we hope that support will continue.
In a way, you're kind of victims of your own success in Sheffield here in snooker terms, because I guess ideally what you need is a bigger version of the Crucible right here, isn't it?
That's absolutely right. I mean, Ronnie made comments earlier this week. We could cope with a much bigger venue, and you know, let's say it's less than 1,000 seats in the Crucible Theatre. Not one of the biggest venues we're playing. In fact, one of the smallest. But is that the reason the atmosphere is so special? The German Masters, the biggest venue we're playing, 2,500 seats. Packed house every single day. We could sell this out 3 times here without a problem. We've seen the queues outside the Crucible this week. The demand for tickets is unprecedented in our sport now. People travelling to Sheffield from all over the world. So, you know, maybe one day they'll take the roof off and build the Crucible Arena for us.
Ah, we might have centre court situation all over again at Wimbledon. You know, you talk about the bigger venues. You've played in these bigger venues. How does that compare, playing in front of a full house of 2,500, compared with 1,000, Ken?
Well, I'm the nostalgic person, a nostalgic snooker player. I love the Crucible. I grew up watching the Crucible as a kid, and like the other lads there said in that little bit of footage, we could go to a bigger venue. We played in the conference centre when there was like 2,500 people there, but it wasn't 2,500 for every single round. Like here you have a packed audience for every single match, every single round. If you go to a bigger venue somewhere else, okay, you might have a 2,500 seater arena, but are you going to fill that on a Monday morning or a Tuesday morning? I don't think so. I think this place has a very special synonymity with the World Championship, and some things that money can't buy. You can't buy sanctity, and this has history and nostalgia and sanctity all in one, and if it ever moved away, I think you would take away from the World Championship.
If you go to too big a venue also, the people at the back have a rubbish view.
Quite simply,
balls become very small, and whilst the theatre magnifying glasses could be introduced, I think there's a limit. And one of the fascinations about this place and the attraction is everybody's got such a brilliant view, and I don't see it as we currently speak the problem, because whilst everybody thinks that Barry Hearn is a money grabber, he's not. He knows the value of something like this. So the history of the game you don't sell lightly. Obviously, you're going to sell your soul. It could be for a nice few quid, but I don't think we're in that scenario at all. And actually, when you look at it, why not? Why send the World Championship to China? Why not make a competitor in China that's as big as prize money wise, and make a the Grand Slams? Why do you you send your best product over there? What have you got left in the UK? It would have to be something really serious that happened in the UK, as has been mentioned with BBC and possibly Sheffield Council, for it to be changing.
Well, that's a very good point you make, and actually I've often thought myself that, you know, you see golf and you see tennis with their major championships. The International Championship is now a very large championship. Would you consider creating 4 majors? In effect, we have 3 majors right now, but would you officially designate them as majors and include the International Championship?
Well, I mean, again, it's an interesting point. The one thing we know in World Snooker right now is events are getting bigger year on year. So the smaller events are falling by the wayside and bigger events are coming along. You mentioned the International Championship. We saw record crowds this year in Daqing City. We saw an amazing atmosphere, queues outside the venue all day. Absolutely fantastic to see snooker develop in that way in another country. But, you know, we still come back to the same question. This is the crown jewels for our sport. You know, it means so much to every player. It means so much to us as a world governing body. And we are very proud to be here in this great city.
We are indeed. OK, and long may it continue.